All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner talking Giants with another free agent film breakdown. This time we're looking at the Giants' new offensive lineman, Stone Forsythe, 6'8", 310-pound offensive tackle from the Seahawks. But guess what? This is not the first Stone Forsythe breakdown on this channel. Now that we're talking Giants is starting to get a little older in the years, getting a little gray. I did a college film breakdown at him from the Gators. He's the reason I did not want Azeez Ojulari in the first round when people were talking about him at pick 11 in 2021. Remember how far we've come. So Forsythe's numbers are terrible. We're going to get into it. I remembered him as a better player than what the numbers showed, and the reality is it's because he played really well against the Giants, or played fairly well for what a backup offensive tackle against the New York Giants, and they passed the ball a ton. But his numbers are terrible, but it's mainly from two really bad games against the Lions, which we're going to talk about, and then the 49ers. We don't have any of that film on here. Where this, we'll talk about it, but just watch the breakdown and see what you think about Forsythe, because I think he is better than what the numbers indicate, but I still also not sitting here saying he's the savior, the real deal. He can compete to start a tackle on team. So let's get into it. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, first play here versus the New York Giants at right tackle. So obviously you see the size. He's a little stiff, but man, he's got nice length. Obviously, right. Solid technique here with his feet. 1, 2, 3. And his punch, man, I don't think he's got this ass kicker into him, but his punch does a good job. Right, with that length that he has. You see how he's able to keep Burns out of his chest. And then, watch, he uses the two-hand punch a lot, which not a lot of guys do anymore. Bam! It stops Burns' momentum. He's able to replace and put that hand on him and win here versus Brian Burns. And I clipped up every pass pro play against the Giants, put it on my Twitter if you want to check it out. Next play, very similar. Not perfect footwork, right? We're opening the gate a little too early. We're leaning a little bit with our punch. But right, it stops Burns' momentum. Right? Watch Brian Burns' momentum when that punch lands. Bam, stopped. Replace his hands. Win a play. Here versus Burns again with this wide alignment. Here Burns wants to work around the corner. See the footwork. 1, 2, 3. We're in a good spot. And Burns does this, hezzy to get around the corner and times up the punch. And he does a good job, right? Burns does a good job. Times up Forsythe's punch, sets him up inside, but because of his length, and again, he's not the most athletic, fleet of foot in the world, because of his size and length, he's able to keep him off his quarterback. Now, again, we're not sitting here talking about the most nimble tackle in the world, but that's fine there. Again, for a backup offensive tackle here versus Azeez Ojulari. Azeez works that one arm, rush. Just does a decent job. Absorb this, get some length on it. Not perfect, but solid enough. Here again versus Burns. Right, just absorb him. Land that punch, slow his momentum. The footwork is solid enough. So you see some good stuff here. Here again versus Burns. Right, Burns goes to work some power here. 1, 2, 3. We put our hands out there. Burns goes to work some speed to power. Let's get to the hop step, right? Bam. Anchor down. Win the play. Let Geno Smith make a throw. Here versus the Dolphins. Good footwork, not the fastest feet in the world, but good. You see Cross's feet. Cross is quicker with his feet, but 91 works. Throws a jab in there, reload his hands, get length on him, work that hop step. He's fairly technical, sound technically. And with that length, if you just have if you have good technique with that length, like, you're going to put together a good, decent film. Right? Another good play here. Here versus Jalen Phillips, right? Jalen's going to work speed to power. And right, hey, like, get some pop in there. But able to duck walk back. He's got hands on him. And again, is the footwork perfect? No. But at least we're staying on balance. We open up our hips a little bit. Again, we're not throwing this violent punch, but we got length on him. Right? And Jalen Phillips is a long player too. We've got hands on him. We're able to duck walk back, try and absorb. I think those are, that length just shows up. Now, there is times where he gives up the speed to power, right? He's a little stiff. He's got the size. He's not, the strongest guy in the world. And you see, right? If a guy gets underneath him, though, right? See how high that pad level is? Makes it easy. And again, Phillips' pad level is not much better, but he's able to keep that natural leverage and bull rush into the quarterback. So the next portion of this is going to be, I should have counted it before. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 reps of bad film, of a pretty damn bad film. 9 against the Detroit Lions. Do you see this alignment by Aiden Hutchinson? Right? You think that's like a 3rd and 12 line? No, the Lions did this all game long. And the Seahawks, and let's watch the film, and then I'll give my opinions on Ryan Grubbs, the Seahawks offensive coordinator, because I was driven nuts watching this film. They don't run the ball. They don't help their tackles. But he had the 6th highest island rate in the NFL. A backup, I'm not talking about like he's a backup for the Giants. He was a backup for the Seahawks. And he had the 6th highest island rate in the NFL. And by the way, on a team that doesn't run the ball, right? Not just doesn't run the ball well, they don't run the ball. And specifically in the games that Stone Forsythe, they ran the ball less than what they usually did. So you're going to have Aiden Hutchinson in this wide alignment, and he's going to get momentum. And guess what? He's going to bull rush his ass right back into the quarterback, right? He doesn't have the world's strongest anchor. Hutchinson's able to work that leverage, keep his feet driving, puts him back into the quarterback, right? So again, I'm not going to defend this as good film. This is not, right? This is why he's a backup. Here we go again. Like, if you get violent and aggressive with your punch, Hutchinson will counter off of that. And he's got you, on your heels. Not able to work any type of technique. He's underneath you. There's nothing you can do really at that point. And Hutchinson, chases the quarterback. Ballsy throw by Geno. Here again, wide alignment. Bull rush him into the quarterback. Right? Hutchinson shows like he's going to, work the corner. Right? Work the corner. Bull rushes into the quarterback. Now, what can you do against this? I mean, you can get more aggressive with your jump sets, but it's hard to do that against Hutchinson. He'll, and a guy with Forsythe's athleticism, he'll beat you around the corner. Because you're going to see, like, these next handful of plays, right? You see how we're ducking into this play, right? Because we don't want to get bull rushed. And these plays aren't in order, but we don't want to get bull rushed. We don't want to get bull rushed. You lean. Aiden shows you that hand and then rips and gets around the corner and gets a win on you, right? Because you don't want to get your ass jammed back into the quarterback. Again, wide alignment. This time with 2 guys outside of you. Hutchinson's going to pin his ears back. Similar technique. And get around the corner at 8-9 yards. Again, this time not against Hutchinson. But, he's got these wide alignments. So you got to get back there, and he's not the fastest player in the world. Still trust your technique. Don't open your hips and run with the guy because you give him that advantage, right? Just take that extra step and you're good. Instead, we drop our technique, and guess what? He's going to be way more athletic than you, and you're not able to run with him. Gino steps up and throws this ball away, but like that's not a good play for him. Again, wide alignment here. I mean, this one's really bad. Right, this is not good from Stone. We punch. He just swipes that right hand off of you. You don't have the strength to stay with it. Your feet stop. And he's getting a hit on the quarterback. And then the spin move, I think he struggled with consistently, right? Open up your hips. You don't want to get beat around the corner. 1, 2, 3. We're facing the sideline. We don't want to do that. That leaves you vulnerable. Hutchinson spins off of it. Decent job recovering on this play, though, right, for where it's at. But that's not going to happen every time. You watch this play. This time he's getting to the quarterback. Again, we're not trusting our athleticism, and I kind of get it. Hutchinson throws at that arm, gets you to punch. And this is why a lot of tackles are really patient with their punch, right? Because they don't want to have their punch used against them. But I think in Forsythe's example, the punch is kind of his best part of his game, but also it's going to get him in trouble against a guy like Aiden Hutchinson. Here versus Brian Burns, right? Fairly similar thing, right? We're starting to open our hips up, not too bad. We've got our hands out there. Like, good pass rushers see that, and they're like, okay, like I get to use that against you, right? You're leaning forward, your arms are out there. I get to work to swat those hands off of you and spin and use that against you. And this time Dexter gets a sack. Next play, right? Gonna time up that punch, swat those hands, spin, and we're not ready to move laterally with him because we're in this position and we're not ready to move laterally, and you get beat like that. So I want to give a little rant before we go through a handful of run plays, because there's not very many run plays on this, and I am so glad that Ryan Grubbs got fired by the NFL and went back to the call like this. And there's some like concepts I like that he has, right? In fact, they got beat Javon Holland for a touchdown against DK Metcalf, where they ran this concept that the Giants run all the time, where you have a dig and then the pivot underneath, and they got Holland to bite on the dig. DK pops it out, and you get a nice 60, 70-yard touchdown that Javon Holland gave up. They don't run the ball. Again, Stone Forsythe is 6th in the NFL in island rate, like being left alone with no help. I mean, look at that. You're playing the Detroit Lions, Aiden Hutchinson, those wide alignments, and you're just not giving any help. Like, that's insane. And you don't run the ball. You don't run the ball well. Like, it was, I could not believe watching this offense. Like, do they really think this is a way to survive consistently in the NFL? In the run game with Stone Forsythe, you get, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Right, we're running zone here. Got some length, got some size. Does a solid job on this pin out block. Not great. Here again versus Phillips. Like, we're not exploding out of our stance. Our footwork is iffy. Our pad level's high. We're just not able to generate a lot there. But it's not terrible. But then you do have plays that are bad, right? Right, we're 6'8". We're getting squeezed down into the hole by 91, and I don't think this is some great play by 91 either. I don't fucking like his effort in this, but he's squeezing you down into the hole. Now, good job on Charbonnet. I'm a big Charbonnet fan. I might, anyways, here on a down block against the Dolphins, right? You got size, power, like cheat a little bit, get on this dude. Instead, we're being driven back. And now Charbonnet's got nowhere to go on this pin and pull. Like, you just want to block him down, right? Come with that right hand, bring some violence. Instead, we're just placing hands. Nothing special. On the backside of inside zone, getting split by a double team here, getting just ragdolled by this defensive tackle. So, again, Stone Forsythe, not as, for some reason I remembered him as better than what he was. Not for some reason, because he played well against the Giants. But I do think he's in play. The contract says he's not, but I do think he's in play to be the swing tackle with James Hudson. Neither have good statistical profiles, but I help him out a little bit, right? He's a backup tackle, right? I know I joke about swing tackle. Swing tackle, you got to give those guys a little bit of help. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Check out all the other free agent film breakdowns. The James Hudson one's on the Bobby's Breakdown channel if you want to go check that channel out. Appreciate you guys as always. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, let's go Big Blue.